Get up. You gonna sit where he's sitting.
Hi, guys.
It has been you, and we gonna move you. Jacob.
So-
And whatever you got.
Soon, by John, we will visit, Baba says. We have been talking about it, but it is hard.
So just think of it as you saying it about her. Milady. I don't see no children of beauty queens in this classroom. Neither am I. Layla. SEL. You have SEL practicing resilience. In addition to your already.
Haifa. Hi. My. Nam. E. Is. Mariah. Juan. B.
You need me to log out?
This. Vid. I. Is. Gone. B.
Your children need to know where they come from. Taya John's forehead wrinkles and he frowns. And why don't they speak Urdu? Baba shifts in his seat. Urdu. Urdu is the national language in Pakistan. It is also spoken in other countries in South Asia, such as India. Baba shifts. They understand it, but we speak both English and Urdu to them. And the kids respond to us in English, he says. Baba seems ashamed of us. I suddenly wish Urdu didn't jumble in my head and come out all wrong. It's just as bad as when I try to read Arabic. You should speak to them in Urdu only, and don't answer them if they reply in English. That is the only way they will learn. Taya John acts like Mustafa and I aren't in the room hearing his unwelcome advice. My face grows warmer. If our uncle plans to ignore us unless we speak to him in Urdu, there's going to be a whole lot of silence around here. Stop and think. Have you ever disagreed with the advice an adult gave you? How did you respond?
Fill in the blanks to tell what Amina thinks about the adult's conversation. Amina's The Perfect Summer Day by Alexandra Alessandri.
For the first time in his life, Nicolas was at the beach. He stared in awe at the crashing waves and at the lighthouse that seemed to touch the sky. After setting up their towels, Nicolas and Santi ran to the ocean, leaving their mothers behind. The water cooled Nicolas's feet and legs. "How's your first swim in the ocean?" Santi asked as Nicolas tried to float on his back. "I love it," Nicolas said, letting gentle waves rock him. Nicolas's home in Medellin was far from the coast, and he had always wanted to visit Cartagena, a city on the Caribbean Sea. Although his parents kept promising they would go someday, they never did. So he'd stopped asking. Nicolas dunked his head underwater. He loved the salty sting of the water, the silver fish darting around his toes, and the sun warming his skin. It was the perfect summer day. "This is awesome!" Nicolas shouted as he resurfaced. "Yeah," Santi said to be polite. He thought the ocean was just okay because he had been to the beach so many times. It would really be awesome to go to the mountains. He had only been once, a long time ago, when he and his mom visited Medellin.
Fill in the blanks to describe Nicolas and Santi's day at the beach. Fill in the blanks to explain how breaking tradition and the perfect summer day are told differently.
Thinking about this, Santi asked, "Nicolas, what are the mountains like in Colombia?" Nicolas pictured the towering mountains carpeted in green. They are amazing. "You should come to Medellin next summer," Nicolas said. "You would love it. What about my Spanish?" "I can teach you," Nicolas said excitedly. "We would have so much fun." I could show you all my favorite places, and we could go hiking. Santi smiled. His mom had said recently that she wanted to visit again, and he was curious about where his mom was from. In fact, Colombia in the summer sounded perfect.
How do the boys feel about the idea of Santi visiting Medellin? They are both worried because they are both excited, and Nicola. Complete the chart to compare the narrators in each story. The storyteller shows that Santi is happy to learn Spanish from his friend.
Fabulous Fathers by Monica A. Harris.
In the animal kingdom, fathers have
Are you sure you want
some fascinating and strange ways of protecting their young. Whatever their talents, the following fathers are fabulous. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. If you were a male Darwin's frog with 20 or 30 babies to protect, where would you keep them? In your throat, of course. This South American dad picks up the young ones with his tongue and slides them through slits in his vocal sacs.
vocal sac? A vocal sac is a pocket of skin near a male frog's mouth that can fill with air and produce sounds.
Young Darwin's frogs grow from tadpoles to froglets inside their father's throat. As the babies grow, they push on Dad's throat and prevent him from croaking. Finally, when the babies are big enough, Dad spits them out and they hop away. In case you were wondering, there are times when Dad accidentally swallows one. Oops.
Fill in the blanks to explain why Darwin's frogs are fabulous fathers. The father frog, his baby's inside his throat. What do male Darwin... Are you... Fabulous Fathers by Monica A. Harris.
If you were a male,
Fill in the blanks to explain why Darwin's frogs are fabulous fathers. The father frog
Mom! No, wait. Dad? When it comes to seahorses, it's the father, not the mother, who gives birth to the babies. The mother gives the eggs to the father, and he carries them in a special pouch, called a brood pouch. He settles the eggs in the pouch by knocking his body against a rock or plant. Over 10 to 30 days, the babies develop inside the eggs. Depending on the seahorse, the father can carry as many as 2,000 eggs in his pouch. The eggs hatch in the pouch, and then it can take several hours for all of the new baby seahorses to leave the pouch. Within 24 hours, the father is ready to carry more eggs. The male seahorse carries eggs in a brood pouch where they get ready to hatch. Some fathers deserve a World's Greatest Dad award when it comes to bringing their babies into the world.
How are male seahorses different from most other male animals? They give birth to their young. They fight to protect their babies. They give eggs to the mother. Now, read Big Dad's Small Fry by W. Lathan. While you read, think about how the information is similar to and different from the information you just read in Fabulous Fathers.
Lakes, ponds, rivers, streams, and seas are filled with life. But animals living in these aquatic environments face many threats. Everywhere they look, larger creatures loom, waiting to gobble them up.
Loom. When things loom, they appear in a large or frightening form.
Take the Darwin's frog, found in the far streams of South America. The male frog hides his babies from predators in his own throat. Helpless baby Darwin's frogs would make a great snack for rodents, snakes, and birds. When the froglets are grown, he spits them out and they're on their way into the world. A male Darwin's frog keeps his babies safe from predators.
Fill in the blanks to tell what you learned about Darwin's frogs from reading both passages. Darwin's frogs live in South American. Which statement about Darwin's frogs is supported by both passages? Which statement about Darwin's frogs is supported by both passages? The father protects his babies from hungry rodents, snakes, and...
del Soto Archeology. Chapter 1. A Close Call.
Taj Mahal at Agra.
Scary.
Super Scary Stories by Megan Cooley Peterson. Terrifying Tales. You sit around a campfire as your friend tells you about a ghost that haunts a nearby house. The hairs on the back of your neck stand up. Your heart pounds. Is the story really true? People have told scary stories for thousands of years. Some spooky tales are based on real events. Some are completely made up, but they can all give you a good scare. Why do some people enjoy scary stories? Scientists say they let people experience fear in a safe way. Ghost, a spirit of a dead person believed to haunt people or places. The House of Horrors. In December 1975, George and Kathy Lutz moved into their dream home in Amityville, New York. Fearing for their lives, they fled the house 28 days later. About a year earlier, Ronald DeFeo Jr. had killed his family while they slept. He claimed voices inside the house told him to kill them. Strange things happened once the Lutz family moved into the home. A priest blessing the house heard a voice say, "Get out." George claimed he saw Kathy floating above the bed. George said he often woke up at 3:15 a.m. The DeFeo murders were said to have happened around this time. Were the Lutzes being haunted? Fact or fiction? Skeptics say George and Kathy Lutz lied about their experiences. Ronald DeFeo's lawyer said he helped the Lutzes make up some of the stories. The book Amityville Horror was published in 1977. It was based on the Lutzes' reports. George admitted that some details of the book and a 1979 movie weren't completely true. The book and movie about the Amityville haunting became popular. The book sold more than 6 million copies. The blockbuster 1979 movie was remade in 2005. George and Kathy Lutz. Priest, a member of a church who leads church services and performs religious rites. Skeptic, a person who questions things that other people believe in.